The previous episode ended with Xingguang discovering that her brother Xia was on the ship with her. So, she left him and went to rest, thinking to herself, "I can't just leave my older brother to drown. I'll have to accept this." Then she closed her eyes and fell asleep. Meanwhile, the scene shifts to Junjin. Xia approached him and said, "Master Junjin, have you read this news?" When he saw the news, he found that it was about Xingguang. The photo caption read, "Shocking. The mermaid with the young master of the Xia family." Some of the comments said, "Isn't this the pitiful girl? How could she be so depraved?" She was unsatisfied with that old man with cancer at night, yet she was still having an affair with Mr. Xia from the Xia group. "I used to like her so much. I never expected her to be this kind of person. Oh, what a virtuous girl. This woman said before that Yi Junjin admired her heels, and I thought she was sweet and had a charming personality, but I never expected her to be secretly fooling around with other men. I always thought she was just acting with Yi Junjin from the beginning to the end. Yi Junjin must have endured the humiliation for his brother's presidential campaign. Even the police station fire was fake, wasn't it? Was the gas station explosion directed by Yi Shiting? Are you guys acting on your own? Maybe behind the scenes the two of them are playing their own game. I can't believe the mermaid could get rid of Yi Junjin in more than a month. It's a dream. Look at Xia Yanyan's Weibo account." Xia Yanyan explained to her brother, telling everyone not to blame her brother, because the true love is between her brother and the mermaid, and her brother owns 10% of the shares of the Xia group, which he gave to the carp girl. This is extremely explosive. So in anger, he threw his phone on the desk. Therefore, he asked Xiao, "Find out who posted it." So Xiao said, "Master Jin, I don't think the pictures can prove anything. Miss Xingguang's father is seriously ill in bed. How could she be in the mood to talk about love with other men? Don't be deceived by the pictures and videos." And here, Junjin said, "Why can't Fuzu be as smart as you?" So Xiao said, "Then, Master Junjin, do you think this is a misunderstanding?" But Junjin laughed and said, "It's impossible for them." And Xiao said, "Miss Jia's Weibo account has been verified. And if this matter is not clarified as soon as possible, it may be bad for Miss Xingguang's reputation." So Junjin thought for a moment and said, "I don't mind telling everyone that Xia Yi Chao is my son-in-law, but I respect the mermaid's wishes, and if she doesn't want to reveal her identity, I won't force her." And here, when he tried to call Xingguang, he found that the number he was calling was switched off. So, in tension, he said to himself, "Switched off right away. It seems like you're very angry." Then he tried to call her brother, Xia Yi Chao, but he also found that the number he dialed was out of service. "Please try again later." So, in anger, he said to himself, "Why, after the news revealed their betrayal, did they plan to escape by getting married but failed?" And here, the scene shifts to the Xia family, where the father said to Xia Yanyan, "Do you know how much your brother's image will be damaged by posting such photos on Weibo?" But Xia Yanyan replied, "Dad, I was just stating the facts. Don't you think my brother is too lenient with Xingguang?" Her mother smiled and said, "Yanyan, I know you're angry, but you can't insult your brother." And Xia Yanyan told her, "Mom, you've misunderstood. I just want to get my shares back. If they clear up the picture, she'll have to return the shares to prove that their relationship is fine. Do you want Xia's shares to end up in the hands of strangers?" Here, the parents looked at each other nervously. Suddenly, Xia Yanyan got up and said, "I'm full. I'm going back to rest." Then she opened Weibo and started looking at the photos of Xingguang with her brother, saying to herself, "I've noticed that Yi Xingguang's fans have gone off the rails. Xingguang cheated first, so if I want to marry Junjin, internet users definitely won't be disgusted. Then I'll do it." The next day, when Junjin was in a meeting, he was feeling angry, and the employees were feeling nervous because of his mood. Here, he was thinking angrily to himself, "It seems like neither of them plan to contact me again. Very well. Perhaps that girl thought I misunderstood again and didn't dare to call me. It seems like the last time I asked her to write a self-criticism 10 times, it was all for nothing." Suddenly, his secretary came in and told him nervously, "Mr. Junjin, the vice president has arrived." So Junjin, surprised, asked her, "The vice president? Why has he come to see me?" But the secretary told him, "I don't know." So he got up and told her, "Show him into the reception room, I'll be right there." When he went to see him, Junjin asked, "What brings you here?" Here, the vice president, Ban Ting Long, said, "What a refreshing spring breeze. I want to congratulate Mr. Yi. The spring breeze has driven me to visit you suddenly to congratulate you, Mr. Junjin," he continued. But Junjin smiled and said, "What is this happy occasion that has brought you, Mr. Vice President, to personally congratulate me? You could have just called, and I would have been there immediately." Here, the vice president's assistant took out a paper and went so that Junjin could see it. At the same time, the vice president told him, "What a surprise! I never expected that our national treasure, Xia Yan Yan from country A, would choose one of the heroes of the Yi family after 1,000 choices. This is truly a beautiful love story." And this paper was a marriage proposal from Xia Yan Yan to Junjin. Here, Junjin took it and said, "Vice President Ban, don't you know that I already have an official partner?" But the vice president told him, "I've checked, and although you and the lady have an official partner certificate, you don't have a marriage certificate. Therefore, Miss Xing Guang can only be considered your fiancée. And as your fiancé, and with the privilege of managing Miss Xia's affairs, the state allows you to terminate the relationship and return to singleness. Then you will marry Miss Xia Yan Yan." But Junjin didn't like the idea because he loves Xing Guang, so he told him, "Please, Vice President Ban, tell Xia Yan Yan for me that I don't love her, and tomorrow Xing Guang and I will go to get a marriage certificate." Here, the vice president's assistant said, "Mr. Junjin, according to the National Treasure Protection Law, once Miss Xia has submitted a marriage proposal, the Civil Affairs Bureau will not be able to process a marriage certificate application for you and others. Now you have only two choices. 1. Marry Miss Xia. 2. Face legal prosecution." But Junjin didn't care and told him, "If you sue me," and the assistant said, "Mr. Junjin, think carefully. Once you accept the prosecution, you will face 3 years in prison. Moreover, all the Yi family's political rights will be revoked, including your parents and siblings. And your brother, Mr. Yi Chiteng, is a presidential candidate. If you refuse to marry Miss Xia Yan Yan, Mr. Yi Chiteng will be disqualified from the presidential election. So please consider that." Here, the vice president said, "Mr. Junjin, just think about it. We'll go first, but I remind you that you only have 3 days to make a decision." Before leaving, the assistant told him, "After 3 days, if your answer is no, we will file a lawsuit. And once the lawsuit is filed, Mr. Yi Chiteng will be disqualified from the presidential election and removed from the list of presidential candidates." So Junjin felt stressed because it was not only up to him, but also his family. So when his siblings came, his brother said, "Brother, what's going on?" And his sister took the marriage announcement and said nervously, "That woman named Xia Yan Yan wants to marry my brother, Junjin? What nonsense is this?" "Here," the brother said, "this family is truly amazing. The elder brother steals Xing Guang, and the younger sister wants to steal you. What is this destructive two-faced mess? Brother Junjin, what do we do now? Will you agree to the settlement?" But the sister said to him, "What else? Brother Junjin once told me that our marriages are used to strengthen the country, including Brother Junjin's marriage. Everything must be in service of Brother Yi Chiteng. And even if it's not for Brother Yi Chiteng, it's for the siblings who have worked hard together over the years. And our marriages are not our personal choice. And Brother Junjin also said that once we become famous, we will be one of the bones that will push Brother Yi Chiteng to the position of president. This is a family of politicians." Then, happily, she said to herself, "I remember every word Brother Junjin said. Otherwise, I would have taken Ling Xing home to raise him, and this is the husband the state forced me to marry." At this time, her brother put his hands on his head and said to himself, "Whoever dares to mess with us will pay the price sooner or later." Then he looked at his brother and said, "Due to the current circumstances, Mr. Junjin, regardless of his desires, must turn to political work. Is it possible that if he tells Mr. Yi Shiteng that he doesn't want to marry Xia Yan, he will withdraw from the presidential race? This time, Mr. Junjin and Xinguang will really separate."